Hello everyone, today we are taking a look at the Lightning V3 from WalleFPV. A few of the notable changes: we have a secured XT60, we have this matrix light which is programmable. It starts out red and goes to kind of an aqua color when you arm it, or you can change the colors. This is our Express LRS receiver. It's up high and proud. I believe last time it was down low. Our video antenna is up here, nice and proud and high. It used to be buried down in here. And this little white area you see right there, that is our buzzer. It is mounted to the aluminum and it is connected or wired via a connector. Also, note the camera is now not nearly as exposed as it used to be when it came to specifically these HD versions. This particular HD version that I have is HD0, and it weighs 56.15 grams. If we look back to the Lightning 2, which had HD in it, I believe it was Cadix Walk Snail. I broke it as I was going up to prepare to do a dive, as I was accelerating 100% along the chimney, caught an arm, snapped the entire arm off, and a few people missed that in the thumbnail. In this case, well, I don't have anything as dramatic to show you, but I did break it relatively early on in my flight path. And because it came so early on, I'm showing you actually one of my longest flights, which happened to be my first flight. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be a little bit unusual for those of you that watch the channel on a regular basis. This is the HD0 Whoop board, the combination of Whoop board and camera. It's not the all-in-one flight controller and HD0 VTX. It's something to be very clear because that's different altogether. But I'm just gonna get started with my flying in this particular case. And unfortunately, it died on the third flight, or I broke the arm on the third flight, which we'll also talk about. One of the things I think that they've got to upgrade, and upgrade it immediately, is to go to either thicker carbon or stronger carbon. Having worked with Jack's 3D printing, he's also cuts carbon fiber. Way back when we did the rocket race, we found that 2mm carbon, even the high quality carbon that Jack was using, it just couldn't hold up to my crashes. But oddly enough, at 2.5mm of thickness, it held up great and has continued to hold up. I don't think I've broken a single frame, and it's been several years. So I would highly encourage WalleFPV to upgrade either the thickness or the strength. I think the thickness, but maybe both. Maybe the entire dimensions of the arm and the mounting around the motor. This isn't a lot of motor weight. That was something else I was kind of wondering about when they were coming out with the V3. They talk about the decision to use the 1002 motors, I believe it is, versus like 1202 or 1203. Well, what about the 1102s? On the rocket race, way back, I found that the 1000 series motors versus the 11,000 series motors, there was not a huge difference between the two. So I think the weight difference is negligible, but the efficiency and the power that you get from 1102 versus 1003 or 1002 is something to look at. That was a crash that I had early on. Of course, I'll go and pick it up, and then we'll get started again. This is where we lose flight audio. I did not plan to use this flight. I just figured, I stopped my recording as I went over to pick it up. The flight audio comes from a little cell phone at the table that sits right in front of me on the table. Excuse me, I said that twice. Right in front of me on the table so that you guys can see, or hear, excuse me. You can hear it, and you kind of hear it as it moves throughout my space. You get an idea whether it's something that's going to be suitable for your spaces. There's going to be another crash coming up shortly. I'll try to turtle mode out of it, but I won't be able to turtle mode out of it, and that will be the end of this particular flight. But we will also be taking a look at the fateful flight, which broke that arm and the motor clean off the arm itself. It could be repairable. You can always do certain sort of DIY repairs in this hobby, but in this particular case, I don't do repairs on quads or really anything, because that would be improper when it comes to review. And that is our fateful crash that ended this particular flight. Now let's move into the crash that destroyed the arm. Jumping right in here, also the Betaflight OSD elements are not on there. I had turned that off on my goggles when I was flying analog, and then when I switched over to this, I did not make that readjustment. So an early days thing when it comes to reviewing a new quad, where I just don't have any of that Betaflight information in the recording. Here I'm just doing another flight. Like I said, this is the third, and then I do this little swoop down over the house, and then I smack that little outcropping or bay window, and yeah. That was bad. Not good, right? Just as I said in the video, that was real-time flying where I was narrating to myself that It's not good. And unfortunately, like I said, I think Wally is close on the right path. It's just if I were designing this, the bottom carbon fiber plate would be at least 2.5 millimeters thick. They tout a 24T carbon fiber. I'm no carbon fiber expert, but it's not holding up because I believe the V2 HD also had that same carbon fiber. They do a paint and bake, so it looks this particular way. It doesn't look like you have the carbon fiber weave, but these little rocket races that were designed between me and Jack years and years and years ago, I think actually I also need to give credit to TKS. He doesn't post much, but we were all kind of working on some stuff. The reason why this doesn't work great in current modern times is because with a 2-inch prop, they overlap the board. So if you have a second layer HD video, then it doesn't work out so great. But these things are just loads of fun. I have like 3 of them. I continue to fly them. 2.5 millimeter thickness on the carbon fiber. Haven't broken a one, but when we were doing testing on 2 millimeter, I broke loads. So that's something that they can take because this is a much longer arm. This is a cube frame, so it has support dimensions out here on each side versus a long arm out there. I think at least 2.5 millimeters needs to be the way to go. So if you're looking to cut your own frames and you're going 2-inch 2S, even if you're going light like analog or something like that, I would highly recommend just starting out with 2.5 millimeter thickness with your design and maybe even moving higher depending upon what you find in your prototype testing. When it comes to companies, they really need to know that they need to test and crash these things, because I crashed and killed version 2 with HD, took the arm off, it broke here at the base plate, kind of the diamond shape here, and now I've broken essentially the same, but clear out on the end of the arm. So you could call it bad luck, but I think in this case we just need thicker or stronger carbon fiber, whether it's thicker, wider, however they want to design it. Just need more carbon fiber out there, and the weight difference is going to be tiny. Half a gram maybe get you that extra half of millimeter thickness. So I think that's something that they need to do right away. If you do have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise about the Lightning V3 from WalleFPV, please let me know down in the comments section below. I'll do my best to answer them. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.